such as people in the Royal National Lifeboat Institution or other organisations that will open our hearts and homes to refugees from around the world. This bill is a nasty, dangerous step down the road to xenophobia, down the road to more racism, down the road to discrimination against people that have made such a massive contribution to our community, our country and our society. The one thing that gives me some hope in the current period, and there's not a lot of hope around, is the strength of opposition to this, the strength of opposition to the police bill, the strength of opposition to the new wave of austerity, and around the world the growth of support for the principles around Black Lives Matters, so that we begin to reassess the colonial history, the colonial experience, begin to understand why the world is the way it is. Once we understand why it is, we can do something about changing it into that better place. But in the meantime, let's work on some principles. Human rights, ability to survive, anti-racism, and the ability to express yourself in your own community, in your own language. And so those that have campaigned so vociferously against this bill, brilliant. Those in Hastings and other places that have made refugees welcome, Kent and many other parts of the country have made people welcome, well done and thank you, because we are the voice of humanity, of decency, of hope, and above all, of peace. Bombs don't solve the world's problems. Dialogue, understanding, and peace brings it about. And the consequences of war are there to be seen with the immediate destruction, and then for decades and decades later, the mental health problems, the bitterness, the hatred, the refugee flows. That is the consequences of war. Our job is to make our society welcoming to those that are victims of war, but above all, a society that is a force for peace and justice in this world, not a force for armed.
Guys, to get hyped up, I want to make sure that Boris Johnson in Downing Street can hear us. I want to make sure Priti Patel in the Home Office, if she's there or wherever she is, can hear us, right? And I want us to make a stand. I want us to remind ourselves and everyone that we're here because we're standing up and we're fighting back. So when I say, when refugees are under attack, what do we do? I want you to say, stand up, fight back. Are you with me? When refugees are under attack, what do we do? When black people are under attack, what do we do? When Muslims are under attack, what do we do? When our citizenship is under attack, what do we do? When democracy is under attack, what do we do? When refugees are under attack, what do we do? When our rights are under attack, as loud as you can, what do we do? Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
And utterly racist and unacceptable. We have to fight for everybody's right to seek asylum here, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Muslim, Jewish, Sikh, Hindu, whatever your background, you should have a right to seek asylum. And the problem with this bill is that it fundamentally threatens people's right to seek asylum, and it will lead to more refugees tragically and horrifically and outrageously drowning in the sea. And it will lead to another Windrush scandal. And we've got to say no. We cannot have hard-working black people, Asian people, Jewish people and others whose blood and sweat and tears this country was built on. We cannot have them wrongfully deported again. After the Windrush scandal, everyone said never again, this can't happen. But this bill will make it more likely to happen. So we've got to stand up and say no to another Windrush and say refugees welcome here. Thank you. And my final message is join us on the streets on Saturday the 19th of March in London. Join us, assemble at BBC Portland Place, because we will be marching against racism in our thousands, and we will be saying scrap the Nationality and Borders bill. So please join us. Thank you. Solidarity.
Make some noise for Sabi. And make some noise if you're going to be in the streets on the 19th of March. That's what we like to hear. Now, our next speaker has come from Birmingham. His name is Mohammed Suleiman. He's from the Birmingham Kashmiris, and he's been organizing the resistance and the movement against this bill in Birmingham. So please put your hands together for Mohammed. I'm proud to introduce our next speaker is William from End Violence and Racism Against East and Southeast Asian Communities. Please give him a loud welcome. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is V. This is the biggest crowd, the most energetic crowd I've ever seen in my life. This is the first big protest I've actually attended. And I'm not a natural activist, I'm not a natural speaker even, but you could probably say I've been a bit inspired, right? So, sorry.
River to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Come on, people. We're sending solidarity to Palestine. Here we go. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
You know why I make these chances? Because, yes, brother. Why I make these chances? Because the next group speaking have been soldiers in the fight for the freedom of Palestinians. So, he needs no introduction. This is Mike Cushman from Jewish Voice for Labour. Make some noise!
Salam alaikum and shalom. I see all these flags saying kill the bill, but they're not enough. They should be saying kill the bills, because this is only one of many bills being pushed through that house over there that are going to undermine the rights of you and me and everybody in this country. The police bill, the courts bill, the judicial review bill, the attacks on the Human Rights Act, they're all part of the same attack on us as citizens, as human beings. Now we're here, they're trying to take away your right to British citizenship. And if you're not here, they're saying, don't come, you're not welcome. But I say they're wrong, because you are welcome. But all these attacks flow from a racist, nativist view of who belongs in Britain, or more particularly, who belongs in England, because they're petty English nationalists. Why are Jewish Voice for Labour here? Because we stand with you all, but because the members of Jewish Voice for Labour are all the children and grandchildren of refugees. Your issues are our issues. My grandparents arrived in this country at the beginning of the last century, and what did they do in there? They passed the 1905 Aliens Act to stop these poor Jews coming to Britain to protect themselves from the pogroms of Eastern Europe, from Poland, from the Ukraine, from Russia. And of course, who passed the 1905 Aliens Act? Arthur Balfour, the same guy who signed the Balfour Declaration to undermine the rights of the Palestinians to live in their own country. It's all one struggle. So we have to oppose the Nationality and Borders Bill and the whole raft of legislation it rests on, because much of the danger in NAB is not new. It goes back to previous laws. In particular, it goes back to one of the first acts of the Thatcher government in 1981, the Nationality Act. The 1981 Nationality Act said, if you have a right to a nationality other than English, then you can have your British nationality taken away from you. Now, this might not be a real right, it might be an illusory right. Samina Begum stuck in a refugee camp in Syria because they said, these people said she had the right to a Bangladeshi citizenship. Bangladesh said no, but that was no use. The fact that she had no right to a Bangladeshi citizenship didn't matter, because they'd said that she might have a right and therefore they could strip her of her British citizenship. We're all in danger, and I'm in danger as a British Jew, because Israel says, without asking me, as a result of Israeli law, that I have the right to make aliyah, to go to Israel and claim Israeli citizenship. Now, I don't want that. The Israelis don't want me. But it means, like every Jew in this country, we are liable to have our nationality, our citizenship stripped from us. And where are the so-called leadership bodies of the Jewish community standing up for their brothers and sisters? They're absent because they only want to look after themselves. They don't care about wider solidarity, the solidarity that protect them. So it's not just South Asians, although they're the particular target. It's everybody who, after Brexit, might have the right to take up a German or an Italian or a Polish citizenship. They also stand to lose their British citizenship. What? Okay, I'm sorry, I've spoken for too long. I'll just say one more thing. They of this country now. This government is telling me that it's not my rights of being a citizen of this country, but a privilege that can be taken away. It is wrong, and this is why in Birmingham all the communities are uniting together and opposing this bill. We have spoken to our Member of Parliaments, our Member of House of Lords. We have spoken to our councillors, and we are saying to the Labour Party, where are you? Where are you standing? You're supposed to be there opposing this bill in every way. So brothers and sisters, this campaign can only be successful if we unite. These people are trying to divide us, and we are not going to stand for it. We are all equal citizens of this country. We are making great contribution. These are the people who are in power, who brought this country down, and now they're blaming the immigrant community, and we are not going to stand for it. Unite together and kill the bill.
Thank you very much. Do we still have some ums? Kill the Okay, yeah, you still have some ums. Listen, I'm delighted that we've got some trade union support here. And we've got Stuart Richardson that's come all the way from Birmingham TUC and Stop the War. So please give him a very, very warm welcome. Stuart Richardson, everybody.
Yeah, I'm Stuart Richardson. I'm the Secretary of Stop the War Coalition in Birmingham, and I'm the Treasurer of the local campaign that we've just established in Birmingham to pursue this campaign. I think a lot of people have talked about general themes of asylum seekers, etc., but I think there's a new danger in the situation. We're in a situation of war. And in a situation of war, people get rather hysterical and get threatened people who make discussions. And I think it's quite possible in the next period that certain people will be identified as Russian agents, etc., and they should have their citizenship withdrawn. Fortunately, I personally won't be in that situation because I don't have a foreign-born parent. But there are many people here who have that situation. And I think we see the background of this in a terrible way in which the Tories are not calling for the banning of RT, but the Labour Party is. The Labour Party is threatening its MPs who are making relatively mild criticism.